Hey, I'm Jonathan.
I am Tomas.
Yes, in this video, Tomas is going to show me and you how to throw rollers so you can win and have a happier life.
Yeah.
So the plan is now, I've never thrown a roller on purpose. Like I've thrown some flicks,
Okay.
but not a roller.
You mean a backhand roller?
Yes, so I'm gonna reach for a disc. Use.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir, excuse me. I don't know how to start this process. It rolled.
Yeah, like 5 meters or 7.
I'm doing Claymore now.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah.
Thoughts?
Well, it didn't roll. You just picked one disc and you have a vague clue about how it flies, right?
Fuse. Buy fuse.
Yeah, fuse is good. I wouldn't suggest a fuse for a roller. Actually, you need more than just one roller disc. Most people think that, I'm just gonna take the flippiest disc in my bag and just throw it and see what's happened. Which could be correct, but it could also be wrong. That could be correct if you're aiming for doing like a turnover roller, for example, a shorter one, and you need it to finish to the right.
It goes very right, fast.
In a sense, yes. What most people don't realize is the disc actually flies the same on the ground as it do in the sky. So if you have a super flippy disc,
Yeah.
and you throw it kind of straight, then you know it's gonna turn and crash and burn, right?
Yes.
And you take the same disc, but you throw it like an anhyzer. Most people do that when you're gonna throw a roller. Then it will still kind of have that crash and burn flippiness to it.
But why not just throw an anhyzer and forget about rollers?
It's a cool and very useful shot, especially if you're playing in a park where you have big oaks or whatever, a low ceiling. You have grass on the ground because you need, a good surface to roll on.
Yeah.
You can't do it in the forest, for example. Well,
No.
you can do it, but take your chances, have fun. So, for a backhand roller, a distance roller, you should use a fairway driver or a distance driver. Skip the putters, skip the mid-ranges.
I always do.
A good roller disc is usually quite flat. It shouldn't be super domey. The most important thing is that you know how it will turn. When you disc up, for example, with a more stable disc, then it's gonna go further before it flips over. And if you're gonna go for a really straight, long, super, then you have to have a stable disc. For example, a ride or whatever. But then it also depends on how much torque can you give this disc, because you still have to force it over on its edge. If you don't have that power, then you will throw it like this, and you will lose all your power because you're bending back so much. Beautiful.
So what discs should I use for maximum distance? Because you said to me like, yeah, we're gonna do rollers for distance. And I'm like, okay, that's good. But you also said, but that's not maybe the rollers that are most useful. We will get to those rollers later.
I would like to try the bolt for you.
Okay.
You like the bolt.
I do like the bolt.
Like a normal driver.
Yes.
So now we're gonna force you to throw an anhyzer with the bolt, and then it's gonna roll.
And I want to get to that basket over there.
Yeah.
That's my aim point right now.
When I'm throwing a roller, a backhand roller, I actually using the power grip. When I'm throwing a roller, I have to do it almost like an awkward motion because I have to paint the rainbow, like I used to say when you're throwing an anhyzer, but I have to like
Exaggerate.
If you have a kind of a pinch grip or whatever it's called, then it will kind of flop out, in the middle of the throw and it look sky high and no angle pretty much.
We don't want that.
For me, it's also easier to force it over on the edge, even if I throw a more stable disc.
The anhyzer, I'm locking the key, I'm painting the rainbow, but then it's just that on sort of crack.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
All right, let's try that.
Let's try that. Well, much better. You painted the rainbow, which gave you a really long swing, like almost like a windmill.
But I need some height.
Yeah, you should have. You could see your disc passing by your face pretty much.
Yeah.
But not like a windmill, like going like this.
Okay.
Better, but it was a better. You had more speed to it, but the angle was a little bit too small.
Too much? Too small?
Too small, yeah.
Too small.
So you have your natural standard kind of leaning forward.
Yeah.
But this time, because you need that extra, anhyzer, then you need that space over here. Difficult.
It's still cutting and
Well,
off.
yeah. Maybe we should try a flipper disc.
Fine. So Fury, okay.
Fury, yeah.
A fairway driver.
But do kind of the same thing,
same?
like you did in
The same thing?
with the bolt.
Yes, okay. Here's the same thing.
Well, it wasn't actually the exact same thing. We have another one here. Nice. There you have it.
Better?
Much better. But then now you can see that it kind of burns over or whatever. But the same throw with a bolt, for example, then it would travel like 30 or whatever, 100 feet more.
Why do you say that though? I have no idea how to aim this
Father. Yeah.
Son?
You should have kind of an aiming point. When you're tossing a normal shot, you can imagine your flight, you can see your window you're gonna aim at.
Yeah.
And here you can pick a point on the ground.
A landing spot.
Yeah, a landing spot. The most important thing is the angle. And knowing, okay, this is enough angle.
What angle? Like this angle,
the angle
or the...
when it hits the ground. So how much angle, you might ask, right?
That's a question I would ask you.
If it's super flip, then you can cut roll like this.
Because it will go where the stamp is.
Yeah, this is kind of a good angle, which is leaning like a bit over 45 degrees. Is it 45? No, it's more like...
Don't ask me questions about numbers.
But then it depends on how far you're gonna throw it. Of course. If you rip it harder, then it will flip faster.
If I want to go far, less angle.
Yeah, then it's gonna cut for a while, and then it's eventually gonna go up, and then it's gonna burn over.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so difficult to get any distance with a flippy. First you have that, I'm gonna throw it almost like a hyzer, and then I'm gonna hit that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Or a little bit less than a sweet spot. But then it's gonna travel over. So it will never kind of be straight, or at least hold its angle.
Holding angle equals distance.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So for example, if you take your beloved bolt here.
Bolt.
It's a little bit more stable than the Fury, for example.
Yeah.
So if you land those on the same angle, this is gonna keep straight, hold that angle for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And then it will also, burn over.
Yeah.
Most, beginners I see trying to make a roller are actually putting it down too fast in the ground.
Okay.
They are like aiming 15 meters away from the tee pad. Then it will kind of almost crash into the ground, and with the flex, it can flex the plastic, and it bounce, and then it will start the turnover almost immediately, because as soon as it lands, it will kind of start to turn over if it's unstable, of course.
So if I want to throw a roller and I'm not that experienced, should I throw a disc that I can easily throw, but without throwing like my max?
Well, you should never ever throw your max on a golf course.
What?
The distance rollers are for advanced players, but there's other rollers you can use as a beginner as well that will help your game. and lower your score. Very common shot in disc golf, the flick roller or sidearm roller, which is very, very helpful if you're in a bad situation where you have a lot of trees, you have a low ceiling, you don't have the power to go with a grenade.
Is that a wood?
Yeah, the sign is a tree.
So here I can't go on the left,
no.
let's say.
Yeah. So just a normal sidearm grip.
This is not a distance driver.
No, this is actually a putter.
Keystone?
This is a keystone, yeah.
Why do you have this in your hand, young man?
This is slightly unstable, so it will kind of help me to go to the left, because this is the left shot. You want to go to the left. And it also has a kind of a rounded edge. I can have more control when it's leaning. It doesn't lose the edge. Driver, for example, as soon as it leans, it will lose the support.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So it kind of, it's easier to have a cleaner release with a mid-range, but this is so short, so the putter is perfect. You remember what I told you, when the disc lands, it will start to turn over pretty much. I would aim slightly just before the tree or the sign, and this time I wanted to go to the left almost immediately so I can control it. Now you have to almost create the flip, so you're gonna aim almost 90 degrees.
Yeah.
If you're gonna turn really fast, then you have to have it, you know, almost,
like so.
Yeah, almost upside down. So before the tree, and then it will kind of do the work itself. Usually you can see a roller actually rounding the basket because it's almost coming back.
Okay,
It's almost like a boomerang. And for the throw, you know, it's just almost like a flick with your wrist. That's too much angle.
So?
Yeah.
That's in the woods.
Yeah. A little more snap, so you get it to spin like that.
Okay, more spin.
And imagine how it will, okay, you have to, of course, practice this as well.
Yeah.
But it has to land almost like 90 degrees or more. Nice. Throw it like almost like a dart.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. Nice.
Would you say that this is the most useful
roller shot?
Shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you have to go to the other direction, like, you know, going to the right. So let's try that.
So after rain comes more rollers.
Yeah.
Like the old Greeks. So what is in stock?
The scuba roller. The scuba, I don't know, it's called scuba in America, but
maybe soccer roller.
The thinking behind it, you know that the stamp, you know, decides if it's gonna go left. So how do we get the stamp on the right side if you're right-handed? Well, that's one thing. Yes.
Okay.
Very nice.
But that's not scuba.
That's not scuba. Scuba is just a normal backhand, but you throw it like this, outside your shoulder. Like this.
That was good. This feels quite not natural.
No, it's not natural. No, but it's a fun throw. Like,
very wobbly.
a bit wobbly, but hey, it worked.
Scuba roller.
And then have the, like, just grip the disc with your thumb on the inside. Personally, I don't like this because I have a hard time to get the angle right, because for me it ends up very awkward in the hand. So even if I aim straight, the disc will kind of point somewhere else. Another thing is you need to have spin on the disc. You have to snap it, because otherwise it will kind of turn very fast and land on the stamp pretty much.
But why is this just personal preference?
This is just personal, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was so aggressive.
Wow. It was, yeah. Well.
Okay, let's settle if I'm a scuba guy or a thumber guy.
Yeah.
What are you? What? Scuba guy. I'm a scuba guy.
Yeah, definitely.
So to summarize, what are the key components to a well-performed roller? Go.
Angles, you know, the angle is very important.
Yeah.
And now I'm talking about the angle you release the disc and also the angle when it lands on the ground. So you have to test your discs and your form. Should you release it flat with a super flippy, or should you throw the anhyzer to kind of control that angle a little bit more?
So there's a lot of variables to rolling and to life. A simple thing is to press like.
And subscribe for more variables in the future.
Goodbye. Hej då!